Hey folks, for this screencast I'm going to talk to you about Emacs. Emacs is a text editor. There are a lot of text editors that you can run in Linux. You got Nano, which just like opens up some stuff and you can write code. You've got VI, which I'm very bad at it, but you can run VI if you want. You can use Sublime, and edit code in here. There's a new one called VS Code, which is really cool. Visual Studio Code. This one's out of Microsoft. It's got a bunch of hooks for GitLab, and you can even open a terminal, which is kind of nice. You can even use Notepad or gedit, whatever you want. But I'm going to use Emacs because Emacs was invented way back in the day along with VI so that you can just like run stuff from the command line. So I have a tutorial online that kind of goes through how to do some stuff. So if you want to install it on Linux, you run a sudo apt-get install Emacs, and I already have it installed, so it's not going to do anything. On Windows, you just go to this website here. Let's see if it still works. Yeah, there you go, and you just install the version you want. It looks like this one's August 30th, 2019, so I would get this one. And then you just want to get there's a bunch of different ones, but I don't know what a lot of this stuff means, so this one's probably good here. 26.3, this is 64-bit. Just unzip the translate to what? I don't even know what it did. Show original. That's hilarious. Oh, I just changed the date. That's funny. Anyway, on Mac I forgot, but I'm sure if you just type in like Emacs on Mac, you'll probably get something. So when I run Emacs, I can just run it from the command line. I also have a button here where I can click it, but I'm just going to open it from the command line. So when you first open it, Emacs looks like this, and you actually have an Emacs tutorial here that you can do. And then this, honestly, is how I learned Emacs. And so if you click that little link, it pulls this up, and you can just start reading this, and you can see like, okay, control means hold the control key, M means hold the alt key. When you do like 2 characters, you can do that. You can use the mouse wheel to scroll up and down, but they actually teach you how to just not use the mouse anymore. So if you look down here, it says now type Control V. So if you hit Control V, that will actually move the screen down. And they basically tell you more and more commands from there. Like if you look, CN here is to move the thing down. You've got CF to move forward, CB to move backwards, CP to move up, and basically like my finger is like always on control unless I'm actually like editing the file. And so here are some commands that I have here. So like if you want to open a file, Control XF. So I'm not going to use a tutorial, but I'm going to hit Control XF. So if you hit Control X, and then you'll notice that at the bottom it pops up like, hey, what do you want to do? And you hit Control F, it says find file. I'm going to open up this file called .emacs backup because it highlights a couple other things. So if you notice, there's this toolbar here. Emacs was originally invented without using your keyboard, so I don't like this toolbar. So if you open up this file, well, this is the file that I have on my computer. If you can make one your own, but basically there's a bunch of different Lisp commands in here. And so one of these in here is the toolbar. Yes, toolbar tool-bar-mode-1. What this will do is it'll actually remove the toolbar. And so I have the file name that I have is like this file name. This is a symbolic link to my Dropbox folder. So I'm going to close this session real quick, and I'm going to cp Emacs backup and then .emacs. And then if I open up Emacs now, it should find, there we go. It should find that file, and now if you notice, there's no toolbar there, which is kind of neat. And then I have a bunch of other commands in there. I'll post the link, or I'll just copy and paste it in the description. So let's open up a file. So I'm just going to do like test file here. Here's some syntax. Let's see. So that was Control F. I already went through. You move forward. Control B, move backwards. Control P, move up. Control N, move down. Control E and Control A is to move to the end. So this is the Control A is the start of the line, Control E is to the end of the line. Let's see, Control V is move the cursor down a lot. So if I hit enter a couple times and type, and hit enter a couple times and type, I can hit Alt V to scroll back up, and I can hit Control V to scroll down. Let's see, move cursor to the end of the file. This is kind of neat. So I think it's, yeah, what was that? That was Alt Shift this guy. Yeah, sweet. And then you can do Alt Shift the less than sign, and it moves you to the beginning and the end of file, which is kind of nice. Copy some text. You hit Control Spacebar, and then you move your cursor, and you can see that it starts to highlight, and then you hit Alt W, and then that copies everything, and then you can just hit Control Y over and over and over again to copy. You can start getting crazy, you know, and you can start doing crazy permutations like this, you know, and just, you know, go absolutely wild with this. You can copy the whole file and just copy it over and over and over again. Now, if you notice, the line is 3,331 lines of, you know, lines in there. You can cut text. So if I just hit Control K, it's gonna cut all of this. But let's say your program. So if I hit Control Spacebar, Shift Alt greater than sign, and then Control W. Sorry, Control W is cut. It'll delete everything in the file. Now, one thing that you might want to do is, like, if you have the word test and you want to, like, you know, write that file or something like that, but you want to cut this one, you can hit Control K and Control Y, and it'll throw it in there. Paste some text is Control Y. Oh yeah, this is kind of neat. So if you hit Control Y and then Alt Y, it will actually cycle through all of your previous copy commands, which is kind of useful. Let's see what else we got here. Undo is Control XU. Just type that in a couple times and undo everything that you've done. Save a file, I've done that already, is Control XS. So if you type in some stuff, you'll notice that there are these two stars here at the bottom. If you hit Control XS, that means it has saved the file. So I basically just hit Control XS like all the time. Close Emacs is Control XC. So Control XC will close the file, and then I can reopen it in here. Oop, where'd it go? Oh, went away. Try again. Where's my test file? There it is. Okay, so there's my test file with stuff in it. Open a new window vertical. This is kind of neat. So if you hit Control X3, you have a window over here, and hit Control XO to switch between windows. You can hit Control X2, and you can make a bunch of different windows. You can open different files in here, so I can look up like bin. There's nothing in there. Desktop. I don't know. These are all, like, this is a PDF. You can actually open PDFs in here. So here's a PDF of some stuff in here. And so you can open up multiple files, which is kind of neat. If you want to close all the windows except the active one, so I'm going to hit Control XO a couple times, Control X1, it deletes all the other ones. Switch active window, Control XO, I got that. Turn on autofill mode. So if you're typing a lot, and like say you have two windows open, and you notice that, like, when you get to the end of the file, it actually makes a really long file, and that's kind of annoying. If you type in meta X, so Alt X, and then you see the cursor down here pops up, you can hit toggle the truncate lines. Oh no, it's autofill mode. You type in autofill mode, and then when you hit enter or spacebar, it'll actually put in a new line in here. So as you're typing, it'll be like, all right, I got you, and it'll just kind of like make a new line for you, so it's easier to keep everything together. If you do have a really long line, you'll notice, at least on mine, there's this arrow here. If you have that turned off, toggle truncate lines, it will actually do an arrow like this, where this whole thing, so if I hit Control A, Control E, this is one whole line, and that's really confusing when you have a lot of line wrap. So I like to have toggle truncate lines turned on, so that there's an arrow that's pointing to this and saying, like, hey, there's more over here. And if you go to my .emacs file, I think I have toggle, yeah, set default truncate lines T. I don't know what the T means, but basically just says, like, hey, always have toggle truncate lines on. So then there's, make an Emacs file, which is kind of neat. Something that I don't have in here is if I go back to here and I hit Control-XB, it'll actually pop up this buffer menu. And these are all of the files that I've opened in the past. And so if you're like, oh man, I closed the file and I want to open it again. Well, if you just hit Control-XB, you open up your buffer window. And then you can actually like hit Control-N. This is a read-only file, so this is a read-only file, so you can't like edit it. But come on, but you can just hit enter and say like, all right, cool, like I open this file, or you can be like, open my home directory like that. Cool. I think that's it for Emacs. I'll post a link to this thing and some other commands. If you have any questions, just shoot me a comment. Bye.